Hello and welcome to my recap of Lost, Season 6, Episode 8 entitled Recon. This week we got a good look at Sawyer and Miles in the other timeline, watched Kate nearly get killed, and also realized that the parenting issues of Lost are not over yet. In our new timeline we find Sawyer doing what he does best. Easy women. It appears that he is still pulling cheap cons when suddenly the woman pulls a gun on him. Apparently her husband is a con man, and as a result she's able to spot them out. But then Sawyer turns the tables on her by stating that he's actually a cop after her husband and the entire room is bugged. LaFleur is his magic word. Now you have got to love that. The cops bust in and arrest her, and then Sawyer's partner, Miles, throws him his badge. I would totally watch a Sawyer Miles buddy cop spin-off series. Just saying. But you do have to question, would they really let Sawyer make dirty with a suspect's wife in a hotel room while he's undercover while they listen in on it? That just seems kind of pervy. I mean, is that really his job? Hey Ford, we need to find this guy quick. We want you to have crazy awesome sex with his attractive wife and then make sure she leaves with this briefcase full of cash so that we can track her. Oh man, can't you get Miles to do it? Miles mentions his dad works at a museum and also sets Sawyer up on a date with Juliet? No, Charlotte. What? But I want Juliet! But then again, Charlotte is looking pretty good now that she's no longer shooting out bloody snot rockets. Oh, was that insensitive? I'm sorry. She looks good now that her brain's no longer leaking. Is that better? And apparently Charlotte is easy too. Why didn't she show this kind of affection for Daniel? Nerds need love too. Seriously, we need love. Is Charlotte an archaeologist or an anthropologist? Are we gonna see Steve and Scott in the Flash Sideways? Are they even alive? Wow, this recap has gotten really random. Okay, so Charlotte finds a binder full of pictures and newspaper clippings in Sawyer's dresser, and Sawyer gets pissed that she's snooping, so he sends her packing. Real smooth. And it would appear that Anthony Cooper has still caused the deaths of Sawyer's parents, but rather than becoming a con man to extract his revenge, he decided to become a cop. The next day we see Liam at the police station looking for his brother Charlie. Sweet. Miles also gets really pissy when he finds out that Sawyer lied about his trip. I found this little breakup scene just way over the top and over dramatic. But later when they're sitting in the car together, they make up and Sawyer tells him about his parents, when out of nowhere a car crashes into them. The driver runs, but Sawyer catches her, and it's Kate. Whoop-de-doo. But the good news is, it looks like my Sawyer Miles Buddy Cop spin-off series is back on. Back on the island, Kate finds Squirrel Baby, and Smokey tells Zach and Emma that he's going to protect them. It seems like every episode the producers have decided to play with our minds. One episode Jacob is good and righteous, but the next one he's manipulative and Smokey is just a victim. But then Jacob is good again, and then Smokey goes all smoke monster and kills everyone and is evil, but then he protects children. Smokey sends Sawyer to do some recon on Hydra Island. Apparently he wants to fly the Ajira flight off the island. Somehow I don't think that that's gonna work. There he finds a huge pile of bodies and a woman who leads him into a trap. It's a trap! But who killed everyone left from the Ajira flight? Oh, and Sawyer also finds Kate's dress in one of the cages. I swear if they hook back up, I'm gonna have a kitten. Back at the camp, Claire jumps Kate and pulls a knife on her. Then, out of nowhere... Dude, he just flung her across the camp. Then Claire got a little overdramatic and... Just do this! Oh man, she just got smacked. Just do this! Just do this! Alright, one more time. Come on, one more time. Just do this! Just do this! Just do this!
This is completely inappropriate.
That slap actually might make a good transition between each one of my cuts.
Just do this!
The best part was when Locke put Claire in timeout. I swear, he talked to her like she was 3 years old. He then takes responsibility for Claire's behavior and explains himself to Kate. All I have to ask is why? Why are you apologizing for Claire when just 2 episodes you literally purged the Temple of All Life? Why are you having a heart-to-heart conversation with Kate when you literally thrashed Mr. Echo to death? Why are you doing anything, and why doesn't it make any sense? And I have a confession to make. From the moment Claire tackled Kate and pulled a knife on her, I honestly did not want Kate to get killed. I guess it's just too much fun to hate Kate. Plus, no one else's name rhymes with hate, so you don't really get that cool ring to it. So the Man in Black's mother was crazy. He describes her as a very disturbed woman, and as a result, he suffers from growing pains. He had problems that could have been avoided had things been different. Based on the music when he said that, I believe he is referring to the other timeline where things are clearly much different. But then the conversation gets even more interesting when Kate asks why he is telling her this. He says because now Aaron has a crazy mother too. Now, I don't know about anyone else, but after reading 1,000 theories saying that Aaron is Jacob, this scene was actually a big shock for me. It's been speculated that perhaps Smokey requires a replacement much like Jacob, and it would appear that Aaron could suffer the same fate as our smoke monster friend. But is it safe to assume that Aaron could be more than just his replacement? Would it be ridiculous to think that we may have just gotten the Man in Black's identity? Is the Man in Black, by some event involving time travel, actually Aaron? Wait a minute. If Claire's his mom, then that would mean...
Let's do this!
Sawyer gets marched into the submarine, and as he's on his way to meet Widmore, he passes a locked door. And he makes a point that the door is locked, and the person guiding him makes a point that it is locked for a reason, and the producers have made a point that it is locked because there is something in there that is important, but they're not going to tell us what it is until probably the very last minute of the show, and it'll probably be the most mind-boggling thing ever, and change the series forever, and make everyone flip their brain inside out. And then once we really think about it, it'll probably just be some stupid BS that was not necessary to keep a secret to begin with. But thanks, Darlton, for the obvious new question. If it's John Locke's body again, I'm jumping off a bridge. Sawyer agrees to lead Locke to Widmore so Widmore can kill him in exchange for safe passage off of the island for him and his friends. But once he gets back to the other island, he tells Locke about his agreement with Widmore. Sawyer seems just as anxious to get off the island as Smokey does. Is this coincidence? Claire apologizes to Kate, and they make up, and there's lots of tears. So it seems that my Kate and Claire romance spin-off series is back on. I have a lot of spin-off series. Sawyer finds Kate at the campsite and pretty much tells her that he's playing both sides, hoping that they fight it out, and while they're distracted killing each other, they can escape the island. And apparently deciding to take a submarine off the island instead of taking a plane off the island is the biggest twist that this series has ever had. I mean, that was like the most overdramatic twist-ending music that we've heard in the entire show, and all he said is, we're taking the sub. Worst lost cliffhanger / episode ending ever. I mean, Locke telling Kate that Aaron now has a crazy mother too would have been a much better way to end this episode. I was left just thinking, was that really the ending? Anyways, that'll be all for this recap. The lost comic question of the week is, which would you prefer? A spin-off series featuring Miles and Sawyer as cops solving crimes, getting girls and smashing mirrors, or a spin-off series starring Kate and Claire as an unstable couple where one minute they are holding hands and the next minute they are trying to kill each other. Please leave your best argument of which series would be better by leaving me a comment or video response, and I will tally up the winner next week. Comments will count for 1 tally mark, and video responses will count for 2. So thanks for watching, and please subscribe for future Lost recaps and other related material. And don't forget to tune in next week for a recap of Episode 9 entitled Ab Eterno, or Since the Beginning of Time. And it's gonna be a good one. I'll see you guys later.